Hello, my amazing tribe. I'm excited to connect with you through this video. Welcome aboard, as we set sail on a journey through Tupac Shakur. Tupac Amaru Shakur, born Lesane Parish Crooks, June 16, 1971, September 13, 1996, also known by his stage names Tupac and Makaveli, was an American rapper. He is widely considered one of the most influential and successful rappers of all time. Shakur is among the best-selling music artists, having sold more than 75 million records worldwide. Much of Shakur's music has been noted for addressing contemporary social issues that plagued inner cities. Shakur was born in New York City to parents who were both political activists and Black Panther Party members. Raised by his mother, Afeni Shakur, he relocated to Baltimore in 1984 and to the San Francisco Bay Area in 1988. With the release of his debut album Apocalypse Now in 1991, he became a central figure in West Coast hip-hop for his conscious rap lyrics. Shakur achieved further critical and commercial success with his follow-up albums Strictly for My N.I.G.G.A.Z 1993 and Me Against the World 1995. His diamond-certified album All Eyez on Me 1996, the first double-length album in hip-hop history, abandoned his introspective lyrics for volatile gangsta rap. In addition to his music career, Shakur also found considerable success as an actor, with his starring roles in Juice 1992, Poetic Justice 1993, Above the Rim 1994, Bullet 1996, Gridlock'd 1997, and Gang-Related 1997. During the later part of his career, Shakur was shot 5 times in the lobby of a New York recording studio and experienced legal troubles, including incarceration. Shakur served 8 months in prison on sexual abuse charges, but was released pending an appeal of his conviction in 1995. Following his release, he signed to Marion Suge Knight's label Death Row Records and became heavily involved in the growing East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry. On September 7, 1996, Shakur was shot 4 times by an unidentified assailant in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. He died 6 days later. Following his murder, Shakur's friend-turned-rival, the notorious B.I.G., was at first considered a suspect due to their public feud. He was also murdered in another drive-by shooting 6 months later in March 1997, while visiting Los Angeles. Shakur's double-length posthumous album Greatest Hits 1998 is one of his 2 releases and one of only 9 hip-hop albums to have been certified diamond in the United States. 5 more albums have been released since Shakur's death, including his critically acclaimed posthumous album The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory 1996 under his stage name Makaveli, all of which have been certified platinum in the United States. In 2002, Shakur was inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. In 2017, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. Rolling Stone ranked Shakur among the 100 greatest artists of all time. In 2023, he was awarded a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Without wasting any more time, let's jump into the fascinating world of early life. Shakur was born on June 16, 1971, in East Harlem, Upper Manhattan, New York City. While born Lesane Parish Crooks, at age 1 he was renamed Tupac Amaru Shakur. He was named after Tupac Amaru II, a descendant of the last Incan ruler, who was executed in Peru in 1781 after his failed revolt against Spanish rule. Shakur's mother Afeni Shakur explained, "I wanted him to have the name of revolutionary, indigenous people in the world. I wanted him to know he was part of a world culture and not just from a neighborhood." Shakur had an older stepbrother, Makaveli Shakur, and a half-sister, Shakur Shakur, 2 years his junior. In this part of the video, we'll be delving deeper into Panther heritage and analyzing its key components. Shakur's parents, Afeni Shakur born Alice Faye Williams in North Carolina and his biological father, William Billy Garland, had been active Black Panther Party members in New York in the late 80s and early 80s. A month before Shakur's birth, His mother was tried in New York City as part of the Panther 21 criminal trial. She was acquitted of over 150 charges. Other family members who were involved in the Black Panthers' Black Liberation Army were convicted of serious crimes and imprisoned, including Shakur's stepfather, Mutulu Shakur, who spent 4 years among the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. Mutulu Shakur was apprehended in 1986 and subsequently convicted for a 1981 robbery of a Brinks armored truck, during which police officers and a guard were killed. Shakur's godfather, Elmer Geronimo Pratt, a high-ranking Black Panther, was convicted of murdering a schoolteacher during a 1968 robbery. After spending 27 years in prison, his conviction was overturned due to the prosecution's having concealed evidence that proved his innocence. Shakur's godmother, Afeni Shakur, is a former member of the Black Liberation Army, who was convicted of the first-degree murder of a New Jersey state trooper and is still wanted by the FBI. Get ready for a captivating exploration as we unravel the layers of education and their profound significance. In the years, Shakur's mother found it difficult to find work and she struggled with drug addiction. In 1984, his family moved from New York City to Baltimore, Maryland. He attended 8th grade at Roland Park Middle School, then 9th grade at Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. He transferred to the Baltimore School for the Arts in the 10th grade, where he studied acting, poetry, jazz, and ballet. He performed in Shakespeare's plays depicting timeless themes, now seen in gang warfare. He would recollect as the Mouse King role in the Nutcracker Ballet. At the Baltimore School for the Arts, Shakur befriended actress Jada Pinkett, who became a subject of some of his poems. With his friend Dana Mouse Smith as beatbox, he won competitions as reputedly the school's best rapper. Also known for his humor, he could mix with all crowds. He listened to a diverse range of music that included Kate Bush, Culture Club, Sinead O'Connor, and U. Upon connecting with the Baltimore Young Communist League USA, Shakur dated Mary Baldridge, who was the daughter of the director of the local chapter of the Communist Party United States of America. Baldridge, who was white, was described as an attractive young woman who was raised to look past color. In 1988, Shakur moved to Marin City, California, an impoverished community in the San Francisco Bay Area. In nearby Mill Valley, he attended Tamalpais High School, where he performed in several theater productions. Shakur did not graduate from high school, but he later earned his GED. With the foundation laid, let's embark on a journey into MC New York. Shakur began recording under the stage name MC New York in 1989. That year, he began attending the poetry classes of Layla Steinberg, and she soon became his manager. Steinberg organized a concert for Shakur and his rap group Strictly Dope. Steinberg managed to get Shakur signed by Trent Gregory, manager of the rap group Digital Underground. In 1990, Gregory placed him with the Underground as a roadie and backup dancer. As we enter this new phase, let's navigate the complexities of Digital Underground and discover its practical applications. In January 1991, Shakur debuted under the stage name Tupac on Digital Underground, under a new record label, Interscope Records, on the group's January 1991 single Same Song. The song was featured on the soundtrack of the 1991 film Nothing But Trouble, starring Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, Chevy Chase, and Demi Moore. The song opened the group's January 1991 EP titled This Is an EP Release, while Shakur appeared in the music video. At the request of Steinberg, Digital Underground co-founder Jimmy Chopwester J. Drite worked with Shakur, Ray Love and Dies, a DJ, on their earliest studio recordings. Drite recalls that Shakur did not work well as part of a group, and added, "This guy was on a mission. From day one. Maybe he knew he wasn't going to be around 7 years later." From 1988 to 1991, Drite and Digital Underground produced Shakur's earliest work with his crew at the time, Strictly Dope. The recordings were rediscovered in 2000 and released as The Lost Tapes circa 1989. Afeni Shakur sued to stop the sale of the recordings, but the suit was settled in June 2001 and released as Beginnings, The Lost Tapes. Shakur's early days with Digital Underground made him acquainted with Randy Stretch Walker, who along with his brother, dubbed Majesty, and a friend debuted with an EP as a rap group and production team, Live Squad, in Queens, New York. Stretch was featured on a track of the Digital Underground's 1991 album Sons of the P, becoming fast friends. Shakur and Stretch recorded and performed together often. Now, let's shift our attention to Apocalypse Now. Shakur's debut album, Apocalypse Now, alluding to the 1979 film Apocalypse Now, arrived in November 1991. Some prominent rappers like Nas, Eminem, Game, and Talib Kweli cite it as an inspiration. Aside from If My Homie Calls, the singles Trapped and Brenda's Got a Baby particularly depict individual struggles under socioeconomic disadvantage. US Vice President Dan Quayle said, "There's no reason for a record like this to be released. It has no place in our society." Tupac, finding himself misunderstood, explained, in part, "In any case, Apocalypse Now was certified gold, 500,000 copies sold. The album addresses urban black concerns said to remain relevant to the present day. Get ready for an exciting exploration as we unravel the mysteries of Strictly for My N.I.G.G.A.Z. Shakur's second album, Strictly for My N.I.G.G.A.Z, was released in February 1993. A critical and commercial success, it debuted at No. 24 on the Pop Albums chart, the Billboard 200. An overall more hardcore album, it emphasizes Tupac's socio-political views and has a metallic production quality. The song Last Words features Ice Cube, co-writer of Was Fuck the Police, who in his own solo albums had newly gone militantly political, and gangster rapper Ice-T, who in June 1992 had sparked controversy with his band Body Count's track Cop Killer. In its final release, Cider, tracks 1 to 8, is labeled the Black Side, while Side B, tracks 9 to 16, is the Dark Side. The album carries the single I Get Around, a party anthem featuring Digital Underground's Shock G and Money B, which became Shakur's breakthrough, reaching No. 11 on the Pop Singles chart, the Billboard Hot 100. And it carries the optimistic compassion of another hit, Keep Your Head Up, an anthem for women's empowerment. The album was certified platinum, with 1 million copies sold. As of 2004, among the Shakur albums, including posthumous and compilation albums, Strictly for My N.I.G.G.A.Z was 10th in sales at about 1,366,000 copies. As we enter this new phase, let's uncover the impact of thug life on our broader topic. In late 1993, Shakur formed the group Thug Life with Tyrus Big Syke Himes, Darren McAdoosh's Rivers, his stepbrother Mapram Shakur, and Walter Rated R. Burns. Usually, Thug Life performed live without Tupac. Thug Life released its only album, Thug Life, Volume I, on October 11, 1994, which is certified gold. It carries the single Pour Out a Little Liquor, produced by Johnny J. Jackson, who would also produce much of Shakur's album All Eyez on Me. The track also appears on the Above the Rim soundtrack. Due to gangster rap being under heavy criticism at the time, the album's original version was scrapped, and the album redone with mostly new tracks. Still, along with Stretch, Tupac would perform the first planned single, Out on Bail, which was never released, at the 1994 Source Awards. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore the notorious B.I.G. and Junior Mafia through a fresh lens, unlocking new perspectives. In 1993, while visiting Los Angeles, the notorious B.I.G. asked a local drug dealer to introduce him to Shakur, and they quickly became friends. The pair would socialize when Shakur went to New York or B.I.G. to Los Angeles. During this period, at his own live shows, Shakur would call B.I.G. onto stage to rap with him and Stretch. Together, they recorded the songs Runnin' from the Police and House of Pain. Reportedly, B.I.G. asked Shakur to manage him, whereupon Shakur advised him that Sean Combs would make him a star. Yet in the meantime, Shakker's lifestyle was comparatively lavish to B.I.G., who had not yet established himself. Shakur welcomed B.I.G. to join his side group Thug Life, but he would instead form his own side group, the Junior Mafia, with his Brooklyn friends Lil Cease and Lil Kim. Shakur had a falling out with B.I.G. after he was shot at Quad Studios in 1994. Brace yourselves for the next chapter, where we'll be dissecting Me Against the World. Shakker's third album, Me Against the World, was released while he was incarcerated in March 1995. It is now hailed as his magnum opus, and commonly ranks among the greatest, most influential rap albums. The album debuted at No. 1 on the Billboard 200 and sold 240,000 copies in its first week, setting a then record for highest first-week sales for a solo male rapper. The lead single, Dear Mama, was released in February 1995 with Old School as the B-side. It is the album's most successful single, topping the Hot Rap Singles chart and peaking at No. 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. In July, it was certified platinum. It ranked No. 51 on the year-end charts. The second single, So Many Tears, was released in June 1995, reaching No. 6 on the Hot Rap Singles chart and No. 44 on Hot 100. The final single, Temptations, was released in August 1995. It reached No. 68 on the Hot 100, No. 35 on the Hot Hip Hop Singles and Tracks, and No. 13 on the Hot Rap Singles. Several celebrities showed their support for Shakur by appearing in the music video for Temptations. Shakur won Best Rap Album at the 1996 Soul Train Music Awards. In 2001, it ranked fourth among his total albums in sales, with about 3 million copies sold in the US. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore All Eyez on Me through a fresh lens, unlocking new perspectives. While Shakur was imprisoned in 1995, his mother was about to lose her house. Shakur had his wife Keisha Morris contact Death Row Records founder Suge Knight in Los Angeles. Reportedly, Shakur's mother promptly received $15,000. After an August visit to Clinton Correctional Facility in northern New York State, Knight traveled southward to New York City to attend the second annual Source Awards ceremony. Meanwhile, an East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry was brewing between Death Row and Bad Boy Records. In October 1995, Knight visited Shakur in prison again and posted $1.40 million bond. Shakur returned to Los Angeles and joined Death Row with the appeal of his December 1994 conviction pending. Shakur's fourth album, All Eyez on Me, arrived on February 13, 1996. It was rap's first double album, meeting 2 of the 3 albums due in Shakur's contract with Death Row and bore 5 singles. The album shows Shakur rapping about the gangster lifestyle, leaving behind his previous political messages. With standout production, the album has more party tracks and often a triumphant tone. Music journalist Kevin Powell noted that Shakur, once released from prison, became more aggressive and seemed like a completely transformed person. As Shakur's second album to hit No. 1 on both the Top Hip Hop Albums chart and the Pop Albums chart, the Billboard 200, it sold 566,000 copies in its first week and was certified multi-platinum in April. The singles How Do You Want It and California Love reached No. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Death Row released Shakur's diss track Hit 'Em Up as the non-album B-side to How Do You Want It. In this venomous tirade, the proclaimed Bad Boy Killer threatens violent payback on all things Bad Boy B.I.G., John Combs, Jr. Mafia, the company, and on any in the East Coast rap scene, like rap duo Mobb Deep and rapper Chino XL, who allegedly had commented against Shakur about the dispute. All Eyez on Me won Soul All Rap Album of the Year at the 1997 Soul Train Music Awards. At the 1997 American Music Awards, Shakur won Favorite Rap Hip Hop Artist. The album was certified multi-platinum in June 1998 and in July 2014. As we enter this new phase, let's uncover the impact of posthumous albums on our broader topic. At the time of his death, a fifth and final solo album was already finished, The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, under the stage name Makaveli. It had been recorded in 1 week in August 1996 and released that year. The lyrics were written and recorded in 3 days, and mixing took another 4 days. In 2005, Beckham ranked The 7-Day Theory at No. 9 among hip-hop's greatest albums ever, and by 2006 a classic album. Its singular poignance, through hurt and rage, contemplation and vendetta, resonate with many fans. According to George Popper G. Price, Death Row Records then Director of Public Relations, the album was meant to be underground, and was not intended for release before the artist was murdered. It peaked at No. 1 on Billboard's Top Hip-Hop Albums chart and on the Billboard 200, with the second highest debut week sales total of any album that year. On June 15, 1999, it was certified multi-platinum. Later posthumous albums are archival productions. These albums Are You Still Down? 1997 Greatest Hits, 1998 Still I Rise, 1999 Until the End of Time, 2001 Better Days, 2002 Loyal to the Game, 2004 Pac's Life, 2006. The 2008 fire sustained by University Music Group Lost, among archives of hundreds of other artists, some of Tupac's. Brace yourself for a captivating discussion on film career as we explore its nuances and implications. Shakur's first film appearance was in the 1991 film Nothing But Trouble, a cameo by the Digital Underground. In 1992, he starred in Juice, where he plays the fictional Roland Bishop, a militant and haunting individual. Rolling Stone's Peter Travers calls him the film's most magnetic figure. In 1993, Shakur starred alongside Janet Jackson in John Singleton's romance film, Poetic Justice. Singleton later fired Shakur from the 1995 film Higher Learning because the studio would not finance the film following his arrest. For the lead role in the eventual 2001 film Baby Boy, a role played by Tyrese Gibson, Singleton originally had Shakur in mind. Ultimately, the set design includes a Shakur mural in the protagonist's bedroom, and the film's score includes Shakur's song Hail Mary. Director Alan Hughes had cast Shakur as Sharif in the 1993 film Menace I Society, but replaced him once Shakur assaulted him on set due to a discrepancy with the script. Nonetheless, in 2013, Hughes appraises that Shakur would have outshone the other actors because he was bigger than the movie. Shakur played a gangster called Birdie in the 1994 film Above the Rim. By some accounts, that character had been modeled after former New York drug dealer Haitian Jack Annant, who managed and promoted rappers. Shakur was introduced to him at a Queens nightclub. Reportedly, B.I.G. advised Shakur to avoid him, but Shakur disregarded the warning. Through Haitian Jack, Shakur met James Jimmy Henchman Rosemond, also a drug dealer who doubled as music manager. Soon after Shakur's death, 3 more films starring him were released: Bullet 1996, Gridlock'd 1997, and Gang-Related 1997. Get ready for an enlightening exploration as we dig into posthumous rumored roles and Star Wars and understand its role in the broader context. It was rumored that Shakur was being considered by George Lucas to portray Jedi Master Mace Windu in the Star Wars prequel films. According to former Death Row Records chief engineer Rick Clifford, George Lucas was eyeing Tupac to star in his return to the Star Wars saga. Clifford talked about how understandably excited Tupac was for the role. Pac found out that I worked for Brian Austin Green, who was on 90,210. Then he found out I some movies, so we always talked about his film career and stuff. He was telling me that he was supposed to read for George Lucas and them. They wanted him to be a Jedi. I'm serious. Samuel L. got Tupac's part. Said, "Old man, keep your fingers crossed. He said, "I've got 3 movies coming up. One of them, I've got to read for George Lucas." The Phantom Menace script had begun being written in 1996 and the eventual film seeing release in 1999. Lucas had asked Jackson to ask Shakur to audition, but due to Shakur's untimely death, the role ultimately went to Samuel L. Jackson. The two had worked on the film Juice together. The character's bald appearance could have also been an homage to Shakur. Let's now zoom in on personal life and uncover the hidden gems that lie within. In his 1995 interview with Vibe magazine, Shakur listed Jada Pinkett, Jasmine Guy, Treach and Mickey Rourke among the people who were looking out for him while he was in prison. Shakur also mentioned that Madonna was a supportive friend. Madonna later revealed that they dated in 1994. Shakur became close friends with Jada Pinkett while attending the Baltimore School for the Arts. Shakur helped Pinkett land her first movie role in the film Menace II Society 1993. In turn, Pinkett secured Shakur a guest starring role on the sitcom A Different World in 1993. She appeared in his music videos Keep Your Head Up and Temptations. She also came up with the concept for his California Love music video and had intended to direct it, but she removed herself from the project. In 1995, Pinkett contributed $100,000 towards Shakur's bail as he awaited an appeal on his sexual abuse conviction. Pinkett later revealed that she turned down his marriage proposal while he was incarcerated at Rikers Island in 1995. Speaking about Pinkett, Shakur stated, "Jada is my heart. She will be my friend for my whole life. We'll be old together. Jada can ask me to do anything and she can have it." Pinkett said Shakur was one of my best friends. He was like a brother. It was beyond friendship for us. The type of relationship we had, you only get that once in a lifetime. After Shakur was shot in 1994, he recuperated at Jasmine Guy's home. They had met during his guest appearance on the sitcom A Different World in 1993. Guy appeared in his music video Temptations and later wrote his mother's 2004 biography, Afeni Shakur, Evolution of a Revolutionary. Shakur befriended Treach when they were both roadies on Public Enemy's tour in 1990. He made a cameo in Naughty by Nature's music video Uptown Anthem in 1992. Treach collaborated with Shakur on his song 5 Deadly Venoms and appeared in his music video Temptations. Treach was also a speaker at a public memorial service for Shakur in 1996. Shakur and Mickey Rourke formed a bond while filming the movie Bullet in 1994. Rourke recalled that Shakur was there for me during some very hard times. Shakur had friendships with other celebrities, including Mike Tyson, Chuck D, Jim Carrey, and Alanis Morissette. In April 1996, Shakur said that he, Morissette, Snoop Dogg, and Suge Knight were planning to open a restaurant together. On April 29, 1995, Shakur married his then-girlfriend Keisha Morris, a pre-law student. Their marriage was annulled 10 months later. In a 1993 interview published in The Source, Shakur criticized record producer Quincy Jones for his interracial marriage to actress Peggy Lipton. Their daughter Rashida Jones responded with an irate open letter. Shakur later apologized to her sister Kaidoda Jones, whom he began dating in 1996. Shakur and Jones attended Men's Fashion Week in Milan and walked the runway together for a Versace fashion show. Jones was at their hotel in Las Vegas when Shakur was shot. In this part of the video, we'll be diving deep into sexual assault case, prison sentence, appeal and release, and unraveling its profound impact. In November 1993, Shakur and 2 other men were charged in New York with sodomizing a woman in Shakur's hotel room. The woman, Ayanna Jackson, alleged that after she performed oral sex on Shakur at the public dance floor of a Manhattan nightclub, she went to his hotel room a later day when Shakur, record executive Jock Haitian Jack Adnant, Shakur's road manager Charles Fuller, and an unidentified 4th man apprehended and forced her to perform non-consensual oral sex on each of them. Shakur was also charged with illegal possession of a firearm as 2 guns were found in the hotel room. Interviewed on the Arsenio Hall show, Shakur said he was hurt that a woman would accuse me of taking something from her, as he had been raised in a female household and surrounded by women his whole life. On December 1, 1994, Shakur was acquitted of 3 counts of sodomy and associated gun charges, but convicted of 2 counts of first-degree sexual abuse for forcibly touching the woman's buttocks in his hotel room. Jurors have said the lack of evidence stymied a sodomy conviction. Shakur's lawyer characterized the sentence as out of line with the groping conviction and the setting of bail at $3 million as inhumane. Shakur's accuser later filed a civil suit against Shakur seeking $10 million for punitive damages, which was subsequently settled. After Shakur had been convicted of sexual abuse, Gridlock'd's case was separated and closed via misdemeanor plea without incarceration. Benza reported in New York Daily News Shakur's new disdain for Adnan, who Shakur theorized had set him up with the case. Shakur reportedly believed his accuser was connected to and had sexual relations with Adnan and James' henchman Rosemond, who he considered to be behind the 1994 Quad Studios shooting. Shakur was unable to post the $3 million bond to keep himself free until sentencing, so he surrendered himself to authorities at the Bellevue Hospital prison ward in New York City on December 23, 1994. At the time, he was still recovering from injuries he received on November 30, when he was shot 5 times and robbed at Quad Studios. In January 1995, Shakur was moved to the North Infirmary Command NIC on Rikers Island in the Bronx. On February 7, 1995, he was sentenced to 18 months to years in prison by a judge who decried an act of brutal violence against a helpless woman. In March 1995, Shakur was transferred to Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora. While imprisoned, he began reading again, which he had been unable to do as his career progressed due to his marijuana and alcohol habits. Works such as The Prince by Italian philosopher Makaveli and The Art of War by Chinese military strategist Sun Tzu sparked Shakur's interest in philosophy of war and military strategy. On April 29, 1995, Shakur married his girlfriend Keisha Morris. The marriage was later annulled. While in prison, Shakur exchanged letters with celebrities such as Jim Carrey and Tony Danza, among others. He was also visited by Al Sharpton, who helped Shakur get released from solitary confinement. By October 1995, pending judicial appeal, Shakur was incarcerated in New York. On October 12, he bonded out of the maximum security Dannemora Clinton Correctional Facility in the process of appealing his conviction, once Suge Knight, CEO of Death Row Records, arranged for posting of his $1.40 million bond. Let's now venture into the realm of 1993 shooting in Atlanta and explore the fascinating intricacies it holds. On October 31, 1993, Shakur was arrested in Atlanta for shooting 2 off-duty police officers, brothers Mark Whitwell and Scott Whitwell. The Atlanta police claimed the shooting occurred after the brothers were almost struck by a car carrying Shakur while they were crossing the street with their wives. As they argued with the driver, Shakur's car pulled up and he shot the Whitwells in the buttocks and the abdomen. However, there are conflicting accounts that the Whitwells were harassing a black motorist and uttered racial slurs. According to some witnesses, Shakur and his entourage had fired in self-defense as Mark Whitwell shot at them first. Shakur was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault. Mark Whitwell was charged with firing at Shakur's car and later with making false statements to investigators. Scott Whitwell admitted to possessing a gun he had taken from a Henry County police evidence room. Prosecutors ultimately dropped all charges against both parties. Mark Whitwell resigned from the force 7 months after the shooting. Both brothers filed civil suits against Shakur. Mark Whitwell's suit was settled out of court, while Scott Whitwell's $2 million lawsuit resulted in a default judgment entered against the rapper's estate in 1998. As we enter this new phase, let's analyze 1994 Quad Studios shooting from different angles and evaluate its significance. On November 30, 1994, while in New York recording verses for a mixtape of Ron G, Shakur was repeatedly distracted by his beeper. Music manager James "Jimmy" Henchman Rosemond reportedly offered Shakur $7,000 to stop by Quad Studios in Times Square that night to record a verse for his client Little Sean. Shakur was unsure, but agreed to the session as he needed the cash to offset legal costs. He arrived with Stretch and one or two others. In the lobby, 3 men robbed and beat him at gunpoint. Shakur resisted and was shot. Shakur speculated that the shooting had been a setup. Against doctors' advice, Shakur checked out of Metropolitan Hospital Center a few hours after surgery and secretly went to the house of the actress Jasmine Guy to recuperate. The next day, Shakur arrived at a Manhattan courthouse bandaged in a wheelchair to receive the jury's verdict for his sexual abuse case. Shakur spent the next few weeks being cared for by his mother and a private doctor at Guy's home. The Fruit of Islam and former members of the Black Panther Party stood guard to protect him. Now, let's delve into the intricacies of set-up accusations involving the notorious B.I.G. and explore its various aspects. In a 1995 interview with Vibe, Shakur accused Sean Combs, Jimmy Henchman, and the Notorious Big, who were at Quad Studios at the time among others, of setting up or being privy to the November 1994 robbery and shooting. Vibe alerted the names of the accused. Their accusations were significant to the East-West Coast rivalry in hip-hop. In 1995, months after the robbery, Combs and B.I.G. released the track Who Shot Ya?, which Shakur took as a mockery of his shooting and thought they could be responsible, so he released a diss song, Hit 'Em Up, in which he targeted B.I.G. Combs, their record label, Junior Mafia, and at the end of Hit 'Em Up, he mentions rivals Mobb Deep and Chino XL. In March 2008, Chuck Phillips, in the Los Angeles Times, reported on the 1994 ambush and shooting. The newspaper later retracted the article since it relied partially on FBI documents later discovered forged, supplied by a man convicted of fraud. In June 2011, convicted murderer Dexter Isaac, incarcerated in Brooklyn, issued a confession that he had been one of the gunmen who had robbed and shot Shakur at Henchman's order. Phillips then named Isaac as one of his own. Retracted articles are named sources. Brace yourself for an in-depth analysis as we navigate through 1991 Oakland Police Department lawsuit and its far-reaching implications. On October 17, 1991, 2 Oakland Police Department officers stopped Shakur for jaywalking at a downtown intersection. According to Shakur, officers Alex Boyovic and Kevin Rogers asked him for his ID and pressed him about his name before choking him, throwing him to the ground and slamming his head on the concrete. Shakur filed a $10 million lawsuit against the officers for police brutality. The case was settled for about $43,000. It was later revealed that this incident was the onset of Shakur's autoimmune disease alopecia, which led him to shave his head bald. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore misdemeanor assault convictions from a different angle. On April 5, 1993, charged with felonious assault, Shakur allegedly threw a microphone and swung a baseball bat at rapper Chauncey Wynn of the group M.A.D. at a concert at Michigan State University. Shakur claimed the bat was a part of his show, that he never swung it, and that there was no criminal intent. Nonetheless, on September 14, 1994, Shakur pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor and was sentenced to 30 days in jail, 20 of them suspended on condition that he complete 35 hours of community service. Slated to star as Sharif in the 1993 Hughes Brothers film Menace I Society, Shakur was replaced by actor Von Sweet after allegedly assaulting one of the film's directors, Alan Hughes. In early 1994, Shakur served 15 days in jail after being found guilty of the assault. The prosecution's evidence included a Yo! MTV Raps interview where Shakur boasts that he had beat up the director of Menace I Society. Turning our focus to concealed weapon case, let's explore its key elements. In 1994, Shakur was arrested in Los Angeles when he was stopped by police on suspicion of speeding. Police found a semi-automatic pistol in the car, a felony offense because of a prior conviction in 1993 in Los Angeles for carrying a concealed firearm. On April 4, 1996, Shakur was sentenced to 120 days in jail for violating his release terms and failing to appear for a road cleanup job, but was allowed to remain free awaiting appeal. On June 7, his sentence was deferred via appeals pending in other cases. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of 1995 wrongful death suit as we examine its impact and relevance. On August 22, 1992, in Marin City, Shakur performed outdoors at a festival. For about an hour after the performance, he signed autographs and posed for photos. A conflict broke out and Shakur allegedly drew a legally carried Colt Mustang but dropped it on the ground. Shakur claimed that someone with him then picked it up when it accidentally discharged. About 100 yards 90 meters away in a schoolyard, Sidwalker Teal, a boy aged 6 on his bicycle, was fatally shot in the forehead. Police matched the bullet to a caliber pistol registered to Shakur. His stepbrother Maurice Harding was arrested in suspicion of having fired the gun, but no charges were filed. Lack of witnesses stymied prosecution. In 1995, Zid's mother filed a wrongful death suit against Shakur, which was settled for about $300,000 to $500,000. As we enter this new chapter, let's navigate the complexities of C. Dolores Tucker lawsuit and unravel its multifaceted nature. Civil rights activist and fierce rap critic Celsius. Dolores Tucker sued Shakur's estate in federal court, claiming that lyrics in How Do You Want It and Wonder Why They Call You Bitch inflicted emotional distress, were slanderous, and invaded her privacy. The case was later dismissed. Get ready for an exciting exploration as we unravel the mysteries of death. On the night of September 7, 1996, Shakur was in Las Vegas, Nevada, to celebrate his business partner Tracy Danielle Robinson's birthday and attended the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match with Suge Knight at the MGM Grand. Afterward in the lobby, one of Knight's associates spotted Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, a Southside Compton Crip, and told Shakur he had tried to rob them earlier that year. The hotel's surveillance footage shows the ensuing assault on Anderson. Shakur soon stopped by his hotel room and then headed with Knight to his death row nightclub, Club 662, in a black BMW IL sedan, part of a larger convoy. At about 11 on Las Vegas Boulevard, bicycle-mounted police stopped the car for its loud music and lack of license plates. The plates were found in the trunk, and the car was released without a ticket. At about 11:15 p.m. at a stoplight, a white, four-door, late-model Cadillac sedan pulled up to the passenger side and an occupant rapidly fired into the car. Shakur was struck 4 times, once in the arm, once in the thigh, and twice in the chest with one bullet entering his right lung. Shards hit Knight's head. Frank Alexander, Shakur's bodyguard, was not in the car at the time. He would say he had been tasked to drive the car of Shakur's girlfriend, Kaidoda Jones. Shakur was taken to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada where he was heavily sedated and put on life support. In the intensive care unit on the afternoon of September 13, 1996, Shakur died from internal bleeding. He was pronounced dead at 4:03 p.m. The official causes of death are respiratory failure and cardiopulmonary arrest associated with multiple gunshot wounds. Shakur's body was cremated the next day. Members of the Outlaws were calling a line in his song Black Jesus, although uncertain of the artist's attempt at a literal meaning, chose to interpret the request seriously. Smoked some of his body's ashes after mixing them with marijuana. In 2002, investigative journalist Chuck Phillips, after a year of work, reported in the Los Angeles Times that Anderson, a Southside Compton Crip, having been attacked by Suge and Shakur's entourage at the MGM Hotel after the boxing match, had fired the fatal gunshots, but that Las Vegas police had interviewed him only once, briefly, before his death in an unrelated shooting. Phillips's 2002 article also alleges the involvement of Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace and several within New York City's criminal underworld. Both Anderson and Wallace denied involvement, while Wallace offered a confirmed alibi. Music journalist John Leland, in the New York Times, called the evidence inconclusive. In 2011, via the Freedom of Information Act, the FBI released documents related to its investigation which described an extortion scheme by the Jewish Defense League classified as a right-wing terrorist group by the FBI that included making death threats against Shakur and other rappers, but did not indicate a direct connection to his murder. On July 18, 2023, the Las Vegas Police Department executed a search warrant in connection with Shakur's murder. On September 29, 2023, the AP reported that Las Vegas police had arrested a suspect, Dwayne Keefe T. Davis, in Shakur's murder. Police had 2 months previously served a search warrant at his wife's home in the Las Vegas suburb of Henderson. Davis pleaded not guilty on November 2, 2023, in Las Vegas. Now, it's time to shift gears and explore artistry. Shakur's music and philosophical outlook were deeply influenced by a wide range of American, African American, and global influences, including the Black Panther Party, black nationalism, egalitarianism, and the concept of liberty. Moreover, Shakur's artistic sensibilities were enriched by his passion for theatre and admiration for the works of William Shakespeare. Notably, he honed his theatrical skills as a student at the Baltimore School for the Arts, where he delved into the psychological complexities inherent in inter-gang warfare and intercultural conflicts, reflecting themes explored in Shakespearean dramas. Apocalypse Now 1991 showcased his socially conscious perspective. Through powerful tracks like Brenda's Got a Baby, Trapped, and Part-Time Muther, Shakur addressed social injustice, poverty, and police brutality. In doing so, he contributed to the ongoing success of rap groups such as Boogie Down Productions, Public Enemy, X-Clan, and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, while establishing himself as one of the pioneering socially conscious rappers from the West Coast. Continuing his focus on the social challenges faced by African American people, Shakur's second album featured songs like The Streets Are Death Row and Last Wards. Simultaneously, he showcased his compassionate side with the empowering anthem Keep Your Head Up, and his legendary intensity with the title track from the album Strictly for My N.I.G.G.A.Z. Additionally, he paid homage to his former group Digital Underground by including them on the playful track I Get Around. Throughout his career, Shakur's subsequent albums reflected a growing assertiveness in his approach. Shakur's body of work encompassed contrasting themes, including social inequality, injustice, compassion, playfulness, and hope. These elements continued to shape his artistry, exemplified by his explosive 1995 album Me Against the World. The release of All Eyez on Me in 1996 further solidified his reputation, with tracks like Ambitions as a Writer, I Ain't Mad at Ya, California Love, Life Goes On, and Picture Me Rollin' being hailed as classics by critics. Shakur described All Eyez on Me as a celebration of life, and the album achieved both critical acclaim and commercial success. As we progress, let's zoom in on legacy and remembrance and examine its role in shaping our overall narrative. Shakur is considered one of the most influential rappers of all time, with Rolling Stone listing him as one of the greatest artists of all time. He is widely credited as an important figure in hip-hop culture, and his prominence in pop culture in general has been noted. Dash, formerly a Malcolm, while ranking him 5th among the greatest rappers, nonetheless notes, Tupac Shakur is the most influential hip-hop artist of all time. Even in death, Tupac remains a transcendental rap figure. Yet to some, he was a father figure who, said rapper YG, makes you want to be better at every level. In 2023, Billboard ranked Tupac at number 4 among the top 50 rappers of all time. Alma 6 Stephen Thomas Erwin described Shakur as the unlikely martyr of gangster rap, with Shakur paying the ultimate price of a criminal lifestyle. Shakur was described as one of the top 2 American rappers in the years, along with Snoop Dogg. The online rap magazine All Eyez held a 2007 roundtable at which New York rappers commented, citing tour experience with New York rap duo Mobb Deep, commented that B.I.G. ran New York, but Shakur ran America. Shakur emerged as a celebrated artist, earning recognition for his astonishingly prolific output and unwavering commitment to his craft. According to British writer Rob Marriott, he deemed the act of tying a bandana into rabbit ears as one of the most distinctive and instantly recognizable style choices in the world of hip-hop. Regarded as a sex symbol, his unique style helped shape the fashion landscape of the years and continues to influence artists and fashion enthusiasts to this day. In 2010, writing Rolling Stone magazine's entry on Shakur at No. 86 among the 100 greatest artists, New York rapper 50 Cent appraised. According to music journalist Chuck Phillips, Shakur had helped elevate rap from a crude street fad to a complex art form, setting the stage for the current global hip-hop phenomenon. Phillips writes, "The slaying silenced one of modern music's most eloquent voice, a ghetto poet whose tales of urban alienation captivated young people of all races and backgrounds." Via numerous fans perceiving him, despite his questionable conduct, as a martyr, the downsizing of martyrdom cheapens its use, Michael Eric Dyson concedes. But Dyson adds some, or even most, of that criticism can be conceded without doing damage to Tupac's martyrdom in the eyes of those disappointed by more traditional martyrs. In 2014, BET explained that his confounding mixture of ladies' man, thug, revolutionary and poet has forever altered our perception of what a rapper should look like, sound like and act like. In 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Lil Wayne, newcomers like Freddie Gibbs and even his friend-turned-rival B.I.G., it's easy to see that Pac is the most copied MC of all time. There are murals bearing his likeness in New York, Brazil, Sierra Leone, Bulgaria and countless other places. He even has statues in Atlanta and Germany. Quite simply, no other rapper has captured the world's attention the way Tupac did and still does. More simply, his writings, published after his death, inspired rapper Y.G. to return to school and get his GED. In 2020, former California Senator and current Vice President Kamala Harris called Shakur the best rapper alive, which she explained because West Coast girls think Pac lives on. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation and examine its core elements. In 1997, Shakur's mother founded the Shakur Family Foundation, later renamed the Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation, or TASF. It launched with a stated mission to provide training and support for students who aspire to enhance their creative talents. The TASF sponsors essay contests, charity events, a performing arts day camp for teenagers, and undergraduate scholarships. In June 2005, the TASF opened the Tupac Amaru Shakur Center for the Arts, or TASCA, in Stone Mountain, Georgia. It closed in 2015. In the upcoming section, we'll be dissecting academic appraisal and exploring its intricate connections to art topic. In 1997, the University of California, Berkeley, offered a course led by a student titled History 98, Poetry and History of Tupac Shakur. In April 2003, Harvard University co-sponsored the symposium All Eyez on Me, Tupac Shakur and the Search for the Modern Folk Hero. The papers presented cover his ranging influence from entertainment to sociology. Calling him a thug nigger intellectual, an organic intellectual, English scholar Mark Anthony Neal assessed his death as leaving a leadership void amongst hip-hop artists. As this walking contradiction helps, Neal explained, make being an intellectual accessible to ordinary people. Tracing Shakur's mythical status, Murray Foreman discussed him as OG, or ostensibly gone, with fans using digital mediums, resurrecting Tupac as an ethereal life force. Music scholar Emmett Price, calling him a black folk hero, traced his persona to Black American folklore's tricksters, which, after abolition, evolved into the urban bad man. Yet in Shakur's terrible sense of urgency, Price identified instead a quest to unify mind, body, and spirit. Brace yourselves for the next chapter, where we'll be dissecting multimedia releases. In 2005, Death Row released on DVD Tupac Live at the House of Blues, his final recorded live performance, an event on July 4, 1996. In August 2006, Tupac Shakur Legacy, an interactive biography by Jamal Joseph, arrived with previously unpublished family photographs, intimate stories, and over 20 detachable copies of his handwritten song lyrics, contracts, scripts, poetry, and other papers. In 2006, the Shakur album Pac's Life was released and, like the previous, was among the recording industry's most popular releases. In 2008, his estate made about $15 million. On April 15, 2012, at the Coachella Music Festival, rappers Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre joined a Shakur hologram. Although the media referred to the technology as a hologram, technically it was a projection created with the Musician eyeliner, and, as a partly virtual trio, performed the Shakur songs Hail Mary and two of America's Most Wanted. There were talks of a tour, but Dre refused. Meanwhile, the Greatest Hits album, released in 1998, and which in 2000 had left the pop albums chart, the Billboard 200, returned to the chart and reached no. 129, while also other Shakur albums and singles drew sales gains. Let's now enter the realm of film and stage and discover the fascinating stories it has to tell. The documentary film Tupac Resurrection was released in November 2003. It was nominated for Best Documentary at the 2005 Academy Awards. In 2014, the play Holla If You Hear Me, based on Shakur's lyrics, played on Broadway, but, among Broadway's worst-selling musicals in recent years, ran only 6 weeks. In development since 2013, a Shakur biopic, All Eyez on Me, began filming in Atlanta in December 2015. It was released on June 16, 2017, on Shakur's 46th birthday, albeit to generally negative reviews. In August 2019, a docu-series directed by Alan Hughes, Outlaw, The Saga of Afeni and Tupac Shakur, was announced. Brace yourselves for the next chapter, where we'll be dissecting unpublished works. On March 30, 2022, one of Shakur's earliest pieces of writing, an unpublished booklet of haiku poetry, was auctioned by Sotheby's, estimated at $200,000 to $300,000 and hammered down at $302,400 plus by a premium. Shakur was 11 years old when he wrote and illustrated the booklet for Jamal Joseph and 3 other Black Panther Party members while they were incarcerated at Leavenworth Prison. Even at his young age, Shakur's writing dealt with themes such as black liberation, mass incarceration, race, and masculinity. The booklet features a self-portrait of Shakur sleeping, pen in hand, dreaming of the Black Panthers being freed from prison, and signed with a heart and the phrase Tupac Shakur, future freedom fighter. In this section, we'll be exploring awards and honors. In 2002, Shakur was inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. In 2004, Shakur was among the honorees at the first Hip Hop Honors. In 2006, Shakur's close friend and classmate Jada Pinkett Smith donated $1 million to their high school alma mater, the Baltimore School for the Arts, and named the new theater in his honor. In 2021, Pinkett Smith honored Shakur's 50th birthday by releasing a never-before-seen poem she had received from him. In 2009, drawing praise, the Vatican added Changes, a 1998 posthumous track, to its online playlist. On June 23, 2010, the Library of Congress added Dear Mama to the National Recording Registry, the third rap song. In 2015, The Grammy Museum opened an exhibition dedicated to Shakur. In his first year of eligibility, Shakur was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on April 7, 2017. In January 2022, the exhibition Tupac Shakur, Wake Me When I'm Free opened at the Canvas at El Alive in Los Angeles. On May 16, 2023, Oakland City Council voted to name the section of MacArthur Boulevard between Grand Avenue and Van Buren Avenue Tupac Shakur Way. On June 7, 2023, Shakur received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His half-sister, Sekiwasette Shakur, accepted the award in his honor. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of rankings in this section. 2002, Forbes magazine ranked Shakur at 10th among top-earning dead celebrities. 2003, viewers voted Shakur the greatest MC. 2005, Shakur was voted no on Vibes Online poll of top 10 best of all time. 2006, MTV staff placed him second on its list of the greatest mix of all time. 2012, The Source magazine ranked him no. 5 among the top 50 lyricists. 2007, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame placed All Eyez on Me at no. 90 and Me Against the World at no. 170. 2010, Rolling Stone magazine placed Shakur at no. 86 among the 100 greatest artists. 2020, All Eyez on Me was ranked no. 436 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. 2023, Billboard ranked Shakur at number 4 of the top 50 rappers. Let's now zoom in on discography and uncover the hidden gems that lie within. Studio albums: Apocalypse Now 1991, Strictly for My N.I.G.G.A.Z. 1993, Me Against the World 1995, All Eyez on Me 1996, The Don Killuminati, The 7 Day Theory 1996. Posthumous studio album Are You Still Down? Remember Me 1997, Until the End of Time 2001, Better Days 2002, Loyal to the Game 2004, Pax Life 2006. Collaboration albums: Thug Life, Volume I with Thug Life 1994. Posthumous collaboration album: Still I Rise with Outlaws 1999. As we transition, let's shed light on filmography and its relevance to our ongoing exploration. Year: title role notes: Nothing But Trouble himself in a fictional context. Brief appearance as part of the group Digital Underground. Juice Rowan Bishop first starring role. Poetic Justice Lucky co-starred with Janet Jackson. A Different World Piccolo episode. Homie Don't You Know Me. In Living Color himself Season 5, Episode 3. Above the Rim Birdie co-starred with Dwayne Martin. Final film released during his lifetime: Murder Was the Case, the movie Sniper uncredited segment. Natural Born Killers Saturday Night Special himself guest host 1 episode. Saturday Night Live himself musical guest episode. Tom Arnold Tupac Shakur Bullet Tank released 1 month after Shakur's death. Gridlock'd Ezekiel Spoon Whitmore released 4 months after Shakur's death. Gang-related Detective Jake Rodriguez Shakur's last performance in the film. Baby Boy himself archive footage. Tupac Resurrection himself archive footage. Notorious himself archive footage. Straight Outta Compton himself archive footage. All Eyez on Me himself archive footage. Transformers Rise of the Beasts himself archive footage. Moving forward, we'll be taking a closer look at portrayals in film. Year: title Portrayed by Notes 2001, Too Legit, the MC Hammer story. Lamont Bentley biographical film about MC Hammer 2009. Notorious Anthony Mackie biographical film about the Notorious B.I.G. 2015. Straight Outta Compton Marco Rose biographical film about Mo 2016. Surviving Compton, Suge and Michelle Adrian Arthur biographical film about Michelle 2017. All Eyez on Me Demetrius Shipp Jr. biographical film about Tupac Shakur. Let's now shift gears and explore documentaries through a critical lens, uncovering its strengths and weaknesses. Shakur's life has been explored in several documentaries, most notably the Academy Award-nominated Tupac Resurrection, Tupac Shakur, Thug Immortal 1997, Tupac Shakur, Words Never Die TV 2001, Tupac Shakur, Before I Wake, 2001, Welcome to D-Through 2002, Tupac Shakur, Thug Angel 2002, Biggie and Tupac 2002, The West Side 2003, Ipac Forever 2003, Tupac Resurrection 2004, Tupac vs 2004, Tupac The Hip Hop Genius TV 2006, So Many Years, So Many Tears 2015, Murder Rap, Inside the Biggie and Tupac Murders 2017, Who Killed Tupac? 2017, Who Shot Biggie and Tupac? 2018, Unsolved Murders of Biggie and Tupac. 2021, The Life and Death of Tupac Shakur 2023, Dear Mama. I appreciate your time and I'm grateful for every like, comment, and share.